I had to delete it, and now I'm gonna have to start over. So I want to thank you guys who have subscribed to my channel, and those of you who have left comments. I love the comment section, whether they're good or bad. Hey, I like it when you guys take the time to leave comments. Um, Not all of us agree with uh, what's going on with her, and that's okay. We don't have to be, you know, hateful towards each other about it, but those of us who have watched her and kind of, felt bad for her in the beginning and have kind of watched it play out, we have every right to share our opinion on what she's doing. It's disgusting, and we're all going to see it through to the end. For me, the end will be when I find out what happens with that baby, pretty much, if I can make it that long. So let's get into it. And I'm sorry, you guys, I will try to definitely make the effort to make it where I'm not so much louder than her. Somebody said they could hear my voice a lot louder than they could hear hers. Um, I don't know if it's because I'm wearing headphones or what, but that's the only way I know how to record this and download it to my computer and then upload it to YouTube. Otherwise, the sound's off on the video. So hopefully we can get this right. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Here we go.
It's the early hours of August 9th,
I'm already tired.
2022.
I'm already tired.
I had a long conversation with someone last night and was
Are
able
you itching your
to,
booty? Ew. Ugh.
make a friend, I guess. He invited me
Oh, another
to
male
hang out
friend.
and smoke. Of course, there was some flirting,
Of course.
but I
Did
never
you
take
offer your
anything
vajayjay
seriously.
up this time?
And during
Did
our
you?
discussion, he had made a couple.
Did you offer up your vajayjay and your booty and your mouth and everything for some weed this time? It's funny, she says in a later video, a more recent one, I think after this, maybe something like, you know, I've been working on myself. I haven't offered sex for weed or something like that. And I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Okay.
Couple comments about like, when girls are bigger and they don't have self-esteem. And I told him, I said, well, I know that. I was actually, because he didn't know my entire story, although this person had found me through my YouTube channel.
Oh,
and then
not a
got
dating app
to
this
the point
time.
where he could
Okay.
private message me.
Mm-hmm.
And I chatted with him for a while. He asked me like what my next moves were for the baby. And I told him, I said, well, there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing. And
Ew, can you stop itching? It sounds so gross. Her nasty nails on her. Oh, she just sits there and itches all of her parts. It's gross. Anyways, everything she does irritates the hell out of me. Uh, People say, well, then why do you watch her? Because people need to know about her. Not everybody sees all of her videos. And when there's many good channels, a lot better than mine, who are good at putting in just the clips, or, they're able to, put up the artwork and all that stuff. So those channels are amazing for stuff like this as well. And they seem to share the same, thoughts I do, and that many of us do. So that's why we watch her, because if people didn't hold her accountable and put out the truth, so many people would be falling for her bullshit lies and probably getting hurt by her. Um, so I know there's Original Owl is one channel, Miss Moonbear's another channel, Spiked Tea, I think it's called. I love her channel. Her videos are always short. Yeah, it's called Spiked Tea. Um, Her videos are short. She's really good at the clips and all that. I'm not good at that stuff. I just know how to turn on the camera, play the video and upload it. That's it. And then Adonis Paul, he goes on at night usually. And then there's one more that she does videos, but not as many as they do, not every single day. And that's it used to be Jeremy's mom, but now she calls her channel. Used to be Jeremy's mom, but now she calls her channel. Oh, I guess it is Jeremy's mom again. So I thought she had changed it, but anyways, those are some. If you want to see other clips that I don't put up, I can't go through every single video of hers, but between those other 4 or 5 channels, they have a lot of information, so you can get more information listening to them.
He made this comment about, he said something about like how it'll be a blessing to someone else in that way, that they can raise him. And he said there's plenty of people out there that want kids, that want babies. And I thought, are you that fucking naive? Are you that much of a fucking dick? Do you not realize that that is my baby? That's the Lord or whatever blessed me with this.
Oh, now it's a blessing that you got pregnant with this baby. Really, in the 9th month, it's a blessing. Why the change of heart, Leticia? Are you hoping you can keep it and get more money from the government? Because up until now, this has been a baby from Satan, a demon baby, um, a bastard child. You hate this baby. I mean, you've explained in detail ways that you could get rid of him without having to give him to somebody else. You know how demented her mind is? She has stated she would rather this baby go into foster care and live a miserable life because, that's just what he was born into, and suffer through the foster care system and go from home to home to home than to give that baby to a loving couple that wants a child. She has stated that she would rather do that. That's sick. She's a selfish, disgusting, I can't even come up with any more words. She needs to be locked up and never let out. I've never seen somebody this calculated and this manipulative and this, she's, oh,
Child, and you think that I don't want him?
no.
You think
According to you, all this time, you didn't want this baby. So, just you kind of telling on yourself a little bit more, Leticia. I think you, just like I've stated all along, I think you planned this. Why all of a sudden you want it? You want him? All of a sudden in the 9th month, you want him. When you've been saying all along, I didn't plan for this baby. I don't want this baby. Why would I want this baby? Really, now you want him. So either A, you planned it, you planned becoming pregnant with him, which is, I believe that's exactly what she did. She planned it all from the beginning to get pregnant from a military guy. So there's either she planned it, or a light went off and she thought, ding, 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 ding. Ooh, I can collect more food stamps. I can get more government assistance if I have a baby. Well, newsflash, bitch, you're not going to get to keep this baby. So,
do you think that I went all this way thinking that I was just going to give him up? No, I really did have hope. And he was
really,
preaching to me.
so she's been lying to all of you who defend her and send her money and stick up for her. She's been lying to you. She's been telling you she doesn't want this kid. It's the last thing she wants. She can't wait to get this fucking bastard out of her, right? Oh, but now she's telling you, you think I didn't want this baby? Oh, you're sick.
For hours and made it seem like it was me that was talking about my past too much.
It is.
And men do this to me all the time. They're like, well, you need to cheer up and you need to think about the future and everything is momentary. And I'm thinking,
Because you're depressing as fuck. And every time you meet somebody, you lay on them all of your stuff, all of your baggage, and you don't shut up about it. Look at, you've been going on and on and on YouTube about it since you started your channel. Day in and day out, the same stories, but forgetting that you lied about certain things and so you got yourself caught. But pretty much saying that you've been traumatized your entire life. This guy did this to you. This guy did this to you. This girl did this to you. This lady did this to you. This man, all of them. Everybody has abused poor little Leticia her whole entire life. And she's 35 years old now, and she still can't grow up.
like, yeah, I already know this stuff. Like, I don't need a therapist. I just
You
need
do,
somebody that's
actually.
going to chill with me and smoke. And so we were getting to know each other through a phone call.
Well, then don't tell people your shit. If you don't want people to respond, then shut up. Because you can't expect to dump all this stuff on people and for people not to say anything. That's for your therapist, bitch. And yes, you do need a therapist.
A couple phone calls and stuff, and sat there and talked and chatted. But the fact of it is that how dare you?
How
How
dare
fucking
you?
dare some people not realize I've struggled having lost my first child, the first flesh and
You
blood
signed
child.
her away.
And
So,
then the other child that I aborted was forced to
oh,
abort
that one you were forced
under
to.
the
Okay.
guise that the guy was going to stay with me,
Oh
under
my
the
God.
guise that we were going to be together.
Mhm.
That's how.
Do you not have a mind of your own? I mean, seriously, you're supposedly this empowered woman. You're so hyper intelligent. So what? You let a guy choose for you that you were going to abort a baby so he would stay with you? You'll go to that extreme to keep a man around? But all these men have done horrible things to you. But you keep going and meeting up with strangers all the time. So you can't be that traumatized. And that's something that gives it away for me. That's a huge red flag for me. The day after Thomas or whoever the first dude was that supposedly, took advantage of her, the day after or the day after that, she went and met up JW. And then she went and fucked somebody else. Like, seriously, if you're traumatized, no, you're not going to go keep meeting up with strangers in hotel rooms. She thinks we're stupid.
It was supposed to be, right? And of course, I'm just never good enough. I get that. Like, yeah, I'm super smart. I may not be pretty, but you know,
Your
the main thing
personality's
is that
ugly
I talk
as
back,
shit.
and men can't stand that. They want something that's a little bit more submissive and a little bit more
What are you
retarded so that
doing?
they
Look
can
at what her
control it
hand.
easier.
Ugh.
So I get that. Whatever these men chose over me is fine. I don't care. I'm sure they're unhappy either way.
So if a guy doesn't choose you, he's going to be unhappy because you're just the cream of the crop, right, Leticia? Yeah, you're just the best of the best. Any man would be so lucky to be with you. Are you okay?
And that's the sad part, is that they just went and used me. They used somebody that had a genuinely good heart
Uh
and
huh.
did not want to hurt anybody and just sort of went along with
Just your
what they had
baby.
said. And
Mm
so nobody was hurt,
hmm. Mm
and but
hmm.
I always ended up hurt.
She says the
So
same thing day
I
in
think
and
that's
day out.
hilarious that it's like this person talked to me and I just got frustrated at a couple points,
Of
and I
course
told
you
him, I
do.
was
Of
like,
course you do. Anytime somebody says something you don't like, that's it. You're allowed to flap your gums as much as you want and accuse and slander and badger people as much as you want. But the second somebody says, hey, maybe you need to do this a little different, that's it. She's a complete narcissist. She doesn't want anybody telling her anything. And so those of you who type in her chat and try to support her and give her advice, she doesn't want it. Okay? She wants your pocketbook and that's it.
yeah, I understand. Like, I can't keep this kid. I understand moment to moment that there's like every day that passes, it's just a death sentence for my heart. I didn't say it like that to him, but he wouldn't have understood if I would have told him anyway. Men don't understand. Men don't comprehend that the reason that I detached and stopped having feelings for this baby was because of men, because of the fact that I was incarcerated over them trying to protect a man and
Oh,
protect
stop.
his integrity or protect
Stop.
his honor.
Really? So that makes no sense. I don't care what the hell happens. If there's a baby growing inside of me, I am going to love that baby no matter how I feel about anybody else. It's not the baby's fault. You're so conditional, bitch. You're so gross. That's an innocent, remember? People said, that's an innocent baby in there. You shouldn't be treating him like this. She said, no, he's not. You think he's innocent? No, this baby's not innocent. He's a bastard child. I'll just leave him in the woods. And now, her ninth month, she's trying to sing a new tune. No, it's too late.
And that's sad. That is the sickest thing I've ever had to deal with in this realm. Aside from, like, yes, I've dealt with it. I tried to speak out against my dad. I tried to speak out against all these other individuals. They didn't do anything about it.
There's no
Instead,
proof.
they looked at me like I was the issue, that I
You
was the
are.
common denominator,
You
as though
are.
I was seeking out this sexual attention
You were.
just to get traumatized. No, no, I didn't seek out any of this.
No,
I'm pretty sure that
you sought it out because you were lonely. You even said yourself, sometimes I go hook up with these guys because I'm lonely or I'm horny. So that's why you sought them out. Not to get traumatized because deep down you were looking for that connection. You know, JW did not grape you. You know that. You know deep down he did not. And when you say that's why I feel love towards him and I feel kind of bad because I'm just trying to be a nice person, no. You feel bad because you know you're lying about it.
I prayed and prayed and prayed for a family. And I thought, the moment when he popped up, I thought, this baby, I thought, oh my God, this is a blessing. The father's going to love it. He's going to be so excited. Like, and maybe not too excited because obviously that wasn't expected. And
Oh, he's going to be so excited. What in the world would make you think this guy who you didn't even know would just be so excited that you were pregnant with his child? What in the world would make you even think that? You live in delusional land. You really do. I really believe you are schizophrenic. Something's wrong with you. You make up these things in your head and you talk as if they're real and they're happening. Why would a stranger be happy that you, out of all people, were pregnant with his child? Uh-uh. So, and then you're still going to try to say you didn't do it on purpose? You didn't not go get the plan B on purpose? You could have easily went and got that plan B. You had the money. You're telling people you didn't have the money. You had the money because you just had that cuddle session that you made a few $100s from on the way to see him. So you had the money. Why didn't you go get the plan B? Why? Because you wanted a baby. Why did you tell him to ejaculate inside you when you knew you were uh, ovulating? Mm-hmm.
we
Liar.
haven't seen each other for weeks, but I had assumed that everything was going to be hunky dory, and
I
that
just need
those
a
people were actually
line
genuine
tonight for my
people, and that
nicotine.
if I gave them
Watching
time
her. Ugh.
to recognize what they had done and what we had created together, that they were going to see it as a miracle as well. because knowing that I wasn't going to lie about it, knowing that
It's a miracle when you're not on the pill, you're not using condoms, you tell this guy to ejaculate inside you, you're ovulating. Did I ever say that? It's a miracle, baby, that you got pregnant? Really? It's a miracle? That's typically what happens, bitch.
I was a genuine person when they met me, but those people weren't genuine. Those people that I had met, those people that, the people that have knocked me up so far, are very evil people. They did not care about me personally, they just used me. They knew that they could manipulate me and take advantage of me more so than they could with anyone else because I was just so easygoing and have always been my whole life. So even in the times where I got heated and frustrated, it's not that I even got as rowdy as most people. Um, I've
Are you kidding me? Have you not seen the way you behave? That's easygoing. That's not rowdy. Threatening to burn the hotel down, burning your daughter's crib down, catching your daughter's crib on fire, killing puppies in the freezer. What? She's a danger to society, you guys.
never been that type. So I think that that's like really, it really shot me down when when he said, like, well, what are you going to plan? What else can I plan to do with this kid? I
You
sought
have no
assistance.
control.
I sought housing. I
No,
sought different resources. I
once,
have none of them.
once.
And he said, well, it seems like deep down you don't want the worst for your baby.
Mm,
You want to give it the best that you can. And I thought, well, yeah, of course I want to be the one to give it to him.
you
I want
can't.
to be the one there
You can't.
breastfeeding him and
You can't. Didn't you say I'm not going to feed that baby with my titties? No way. There's not going, and there's no formula, so I'm just going to wrap it up in an old shirt, and that's it. I'm not going to feed him out of my breasts. You said that. You psychotic bitch. You said it. Pretty much you were going to let him starve because of the problem with the formula that's going on. And you said you weren't going to feed him from your breast. So, because he's a bastard child. Um, so you're now saying you want the best and you want to give it to him? You should have been thinking about that in month one and doing the work. If you really wanted to keep this baby and give it a good life, give him a good life, as you state now in the ninth month with 3 weeks left, you should have been trying to obtain the things you needed to provide for him. But you haven't. You spent all your time on YouTube bitching and complaining, torturing your mom and your brother, torturing other people in your life, slandering JW. What are you going to do when the DNA comes back if it's not JW's? I hope to God he goes after you. I hope to God he goes after you because you've spent this entire 9 months slandering him.
taking care of him and and
You're
being the one that places
incapable.
effort into it. But do I have a home?
No,
No.
you're incapable, Leticia. Mentally, you're incapable. How many times have I said before, what are you going to do when you can't even handle stress right now. You can't handle your brother, you can't handle your mother, you can't handle your doctor, you can't handle anybody saying anything to you that you don't like. What happens when the baby has colic and you can't control it? Or he has gas and you can't control it and he's crying? I brought this up before. What are you going to do? Lock him in a room like you did your nephew? What are you going to do to your baby, Leticia? You are not fit to be a parent, period. You're not fit to have animals in your presence or children. She made her nephew piss in a bucket in a locked bedroom because he ate too many cookies, too many things around the house when he was at her place and she was taking care of him. She's one of those mothers who are like mommy dearest. Ugh, you can't provide. If you wanted to provide for this baby, you would have been spending every day on the phone trying to find a place for you guys to be, but you haven't. You've said it's not my I'm not doing it. Other people should do it for me.
Do I know that would be difficult and to put him through struggling with me? Yeah, and I don't want that for him. I'd rather him just, he's simplistically just go off and have a life there at foster care, and then he'll have a story behind it. My mom loved me, but she couldn't have me, and no, she wasn't on dope or anything. No, she
Actually, what he's going to see is all these videos someday, not saying my mom loved me. No, bitch. No. Sorry, I keep calling her a bitch, but she is to me. I can't stand her. That's a nice word for me to call her that. At least you can have a story. And notice how she says foster care. Do you know how many people have offered to take her in and her baby? No, she doesn't want that. She wants somebody to purchase her a place to live, fill her refrigerator with food, buy her all of the baby necessities she needs, and give her money. She offers up her poontang for weed. She puts all that effort to get weed, but she's put in no effort to set up a home for her and her baby. Unfortunately, she's been a menace everywhere she goes, so maybe that could be why she now can't find a place. People don't want to deal with her because every time someone deals with her or tries to help her, they're accused of something. So that could be why. Maybe she has a red flag on her now. Nobody wants to help her. And that's what your mother was talking about when she said, you burn your bridges.
wasn't a crackhead. She was actually a really good person, and she just didn't get the opportunities that most people get.
Most people who?
And
Most people. Leticia, who's most people? You think you're the only one that's homeless? You know how many homeless people there are on the streets? Do you know how many veterans are on the streets that actually fought for our freedom? And they are on the streets? If anyone deserves any home, it's them. You're such an entitled brat. But bitch is more the word that I like to use. Most people get these opportunities. Who's most people? I didn't have that opportunity. I was on my own since I was 15 and I had to find my way. So you're 35 and you can't even find your fucking way. Something's seriously wrong with you. Ugh.
like, he even made the comment about that um, I don't like, sort of my what is the word?
You're so smart. You should know it.
Like, I'm not living up to my expectations. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, everybody says that. Everybody says I'm not living up to
Your
my
expectations.
skills and what I'm capable
You
of.
mean
And
your capabilities.
what am I capable of at this point? Nothing. And he was talking about nihilism and how, not feeling for anything and not caring. And I'm in a state of that where I knew, because, that stuff kept popping up on my YouTube channel, and they know your emotions and they know how you're feeling and they can read your mind. And so I knew I was going through all of this. I knew that, you know, all the times where they were trying to give me hope and thinking that I was going to end up happy at the end of this pregnancy, thinking that everything was going to go according to God's will in that way, and that God's will was for me to not suffer anymore. But that's completely wrong.
You think this is a blessing from God? No, the baby's a blessing. God didn't give you that baby on purpose. I mean, I am one to believe that I do believe that everything happens for a reason. Maybe God thought her having this baby or becoming impregnated would be something that would get her off of her ass and actually doing something with her life. Maybe that's what God was thinking. I don't know. I'm not God. So we don't always know God. She gives me a headache. I mean, literally, I have to take some ibuprofen. Um, I like the little gel caps. They're so easy to swallow. Anyways,
I was built to suffer in this life because I can handle it better than most people. And I think that that's just atrocious that nobody sees what would be best in the circumstance with this child. What would be best
is for
would
the
be
baby
that the
not to be
mother
with you.
is there, or the biological
No,
mother,
no,
to help sustain the child and
no.
give it the nourishment. And
Actually, no. That's not always true. Just because you're the biological mother does not mean you're the best suited for that baby. Nourishment. Can you imagine the control she has over a child? Can you imagine when she's alone with that child how she would treat it? Uh-uh. Forget that shit. Um, she would not be the best person to give this baby nourishment. Whatever she puts in her body, she thinks is the best for that baby. No. And just because the baby comes out of you does not mean you're the best suited for that baby. There's women out there that cannot have children that would be amazing parents, amazing mothers. They would never speak about their child the way you have spoken about this baby. They would love that baby no matter what. They would put that baby before themselves. And you're somebody who does not do that. You don't put anything before yourself. Being a mother is just a thing that not everybody can do. You have to love that child unconditionally and be willing to die for that child, not be a selfish bitch like you. So you are not the best fit for that baby.
the the nurturing that it needs from
You
its
don't know
biological
how.
parent, because
You don't know how to
once it grows
nurture.
up and it's in the foster care system and everything, it will be damaged because it didn't have that connectivity with the biological parents.
Well, you know what? Then maybe you should have thought of that when you got pregnant. Maybe you should have had a plan instead of sitting on YouTube day in and day out, hours upon hours, acting a fool, threatening, throwing your little temper tantrums. Maybe you should have been planning to give this baby a good life, but you didn't. So that's your fault. That's on you. Period.
So, and the fact that they say, the father wants to step in and everything, I don't feel that that's
I don't think so.
healthy at all. He didn't place efforts into this pregnancy whatsoever, so there's no reason for any man to sit there and say, well, no, I want it now, or, oh, it's nice and healthy, yeah.
Guess what, though? You don't get to decide that. You don't have your first child. There's a reason for that, right? And if this baby happened to be JW's baby, which nobody knows for sure, but she's been talking like it is, um, he would have every right to sue for custody. And unfortunately, Leticia, the way that you all of this time have been acting a fool, being all crazy, going to jail, you know, those things. Um, I have a sneaking suspicion that he would be granted custody. And you know what he may do? I don't want her to have anything to do with this baby. That would be cool. to see him. But then, you see, that's the sad thing, you guys, is say he did want the baby. There may be something in him that says, no, I'm not going to fight for custody because that baby, all of the trauma it's been through being inside of this witch, um, and then who knows what he would have to deal with, her knowing that the baby's with him. Can you imagine what she would do? I think this is just something that has crossed my mind a few times. When she said, don't worry about it, don't worry about where the baby, I'm going to have the baby, where, I'm not going to go to a hospital. She said, I'm just going to put the baby, something like, I'm just going to put the baby right back where it all began. And I think she's saying she's going to dump the baby off with him. That's on his porch, or, wherever it all began. I don't know. That has just stuck with me. Maybe, she changes her mind all the time and she just says shit for, shock factor, but that could have ran through her mind. That could be why she's sticking close to where he lives. Um, I don't know. There's something to her saying that. I'm just going to place the baby right back where it all began. Hmm.
I'll take care of it. No, you don't get the choice. Just like women don't get the
Yes, he
choice.
does.
Women don't get that choice. They have to stop everything immediately and abide by the baby's will.
Oh, shut up. You made the choice. You made the choice not to go purchase the plan B when you had plenty of money to do it. You chose not to. Why? Why? She's never answered that. Well, he said he was going to do it. Okay. Well, when he didn't come back with it, why didn't you go get it? If you were so against wanting to have a baby right now, I wasn't planning this, I didn't want a child right now, then why didn't you go get the plan B? Or why didn't you go get an abortion like you say that you should have? Why didn't you do that? See, I mean, I don't think she should have aborted the baby. That's not my business, but that's a whole nother topic. Um, but why if she's Catholic, like she says, a good little Catholic schoolgirl, they don't believe in abortion. So she's either not like she says she is, or I mean, she's just full of lies. So it's you can't even believe a word she says. Um, I think she's delusional. Um, she says you don't have a choice. Well, you do have a choice. You chose to keep that baby. You chose to not uh, use condoms, birth control. You didn't get the plan B. You didn't get an abortion. And here you are. You chose this. So you had a choice.
Abide by whatever the baby needs inside of them. So if whether or not the mother needs to urinate, whether or not the mother needs to eat, has to stay hydrated, has to, have her vitamins and everything, it makes no sense. I place so much effort into this child, and then they're going to tell me, oh, well, you're still not good enough. You don't have a home.
What effort have you placed into the child? What? You went pee? You ate? What? What effort? You have tortured this child. Think about all the negativity day in and day out, the stress that this poor baby's gone through. You really think you've been doing the best for this child? Smoking weed too while you're pregnant and Swisher Sweets? Yeah, yeah, you've done the best for this child. You don't have a home. You could, but you didn't want to put the work in. So again, how are you going to take care of a baby if you're so lazy You want a home so bad, but you have not even tried to get one. How are you going to take care of a child?
You don't have money. You don't have things that are basic necessities for the child. You don't have a car seat. You don't have any of this stuff. You have no crib. You've got
People gift things all the time. I know there's groups that gift things. Plus, if you wouldn't have been such a raging fucking lunatic bitch on here, so many people have offered to give you things. Hmm. But you just became so hateful. Ugh.
got nothing for this child.
You don't.
It's better off if you just sign it over to a couple that's going to abuse it psychologically later, knowing that that child's not biologically theirs.
So,
Okay.
okay, so if you're not the biological parent, those of you out there who have foster children and who have adopted a child or have stepchildren, listen to what she just said to you. You're abusive. Period. End of story. You're abusing the children that you have because you're not their biological child. That's okay with you that she's calling you abusive? I'll tell you this, my husband was adopted. He was not abused in any sense of the word. He was fucking spoiled rotten. He was an only child. Now, do I think his parents did him a lot of injustice by being so gloaty over him? Absolutely. But abusive? So you're saying there's no biological parents out there who are abusive? My mom is my biological mother, and she was very abusive. My father was our biological father, and he was very abusive. So, Mr. Mrs. Hyper Intelligent, do you even get what you're saying? You're stupid.
Whatever. At least he'll have
Stupid.
money. Money, money, money. So that's what I leave it at. If they didn't want to realize the psychological
It's not money, money, money that they're saying he needs. He needs his necessities, just like any child should have. You're
and emotional repercussions of removing this child from both the mother and the child, removing them from one another, it's none of my business. It's absolutely none of my business. I sought help. Nobody wanted to help me.
No, you
My
didn't.
story is out there. There's apparently 5,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure that there are plenty of people that recognize could have helped, but refused to. Did not place the efforts into
Trying to find
me sustainable housing.
it's all of her subscribers. It's everybody else's job to find her sustainable housing. Are you kidding me? You lazy piece of shit. Really? You should just drive around and eat bougie food and take pictures and bitch on the internet and not have to lift a fucking finger. Seriously, Leticia, you're disgusting. Why do you think you're owed the world? You're owed nothing in this life. Is she? Has she ever seen that movie, the one with Will Smith in it? Remember, he was homeless with his child, and look where he ended up because he worked hard. I think people stopped offering to help you because you are so entitled. It's ugly. People were like, gross. That's gross. You are disgusting. And the way you were talking about killing your baby, all of these things that you were talking about, oh, people just said, forget it. Forget it. She doesn't want advice. She doesn't want any help in that way. She wants everyone's money. That's it. And she wants us to do all the work. Forget that, you lazy POS.
Didn't place the efforts in finding sustainable resources for me to have this child and carry on with it alone, and that's fine. It's God's will. Why should I have a chip on my shoulder for having to have more things removed from me? I've already had my daughter taken from me. I'm pretty sure at this point I'm hardened, very calloused to the world around me that's very bitter and cruel. So
You're bitter
I
and
realize
cruel.
now that, it doesn't matter about my personal needs. It doesn't matter about my health needs, my psychological needs, my emotional needs as a mother, as somebody that was a very good mother,
Well, for
it
3
doesn't
years.
matter. They negated all of that during
For
the first
3 years.
proceedings when they
Yeah.
removed my child unlawfully because they took a signature that wasn't viable in court, and there was no
she signed
notary.
it.
There was
She signed it, but it's not viable. See how she gets around all this shit?
no notary involved. So whatever eyewitness accounts that you have for these things, these issues that arose and destroyed my life, you needed to look at those people individually. Instead of just taking their word for face value, you should have looked into the person that they were destroying. You should have looked into
They
the fact
did.
that these people were jealous. You should have looked into the fact that these people were just being vindictive and spiteful.
Your husband was jealous of you? Can you imagine having to live with you? Look at how she acted towards JW. He was like, I'm not fit to be around you. I'm not fit. What is wrong with you? Jealous? Everyone's jealous of her.
But nobody cared. Nobody cared. They still don't really care. Instead, they just tell me, oh, well, then the baby will be better off, you'll be better off if you just whatever. You're right. I completely detached when they sent me to jail a couple, 6 to 8 weeks ago. The fact that I was forcibly incarcerated for trying to speak out about what had happened about this pregnancy, and they reprimanded me and they refused to reprimand the father. That's the most horrific thing any woman could go through. And of course, they're going to stop having feelings for the child within them because they realize that they're unwanted and the child is unwanted as well, because they weren't looking at the child's personal needs, like the individualized needs. The fact that I've been vegan for 2.5 years, the fact that I needed a special diet in order to maintain this pregnancy, the fact that I was not allowed to eat while I was incarcerated for many days and lost.
Oh, stop. Stop. They can't, they didn't not feed you, Leticia, in jail. If I remember correctly, I think you said you gave your food away. Didn't you say because of the kind of food it was? That didn't make you not allowed to eat. That was your choice to give that food away because it wasn't up to your standards. Because for some reason, you feel entitled to eat better than everybody else. You're nuts. Not allowed to see how she twists shit. That's why I don't believe all of her stories, because she twists it. She tells you I was not allowed to eat in jail when she was incarcerated, but that's not true. Maybe she didn't eat, but that was her choice. See, so when she says not allowed, she's lying. She lies about so many things. You guys need to, those of you who defend this bitch, you got to pay more attention.
How
Better
many pounds?
attention.
In 3 pounds total in the duration of a week, which is difficult on a pregnant woman, especially at
I
that
don't think
that
you're lacking
stage,
any weight,
7
girl.
months along. So I realized that sharing my story, regardless of the way that I looked, regardless of the way that I was dressed certain days, there have been plenty of times where people have looked up to me for, maintaining on such a low income, maintaining myself and my composure and my dignity for so long. And I applaud myself as well, because I know that not a lot of people can manage that. Not a lot of people can manage to be homeless for 2 years in their vehicle and have that self-respect still. I didn't suck any dick for some weed. I didn't.
You offered, and then you complained when the guy put his hand on your leg, supposedly put his hand on your leg. but you offered more than just sucking. So, um, and then she says she was able to compose her dignity. Really? Well, I thought that's why you said you went off and fucked all these strange guys, because you just felt low about yourself, and you just, you knew you were worth nothing. And so, which is it? You've maintained your dignity throughout these couple years, or you haven't? I think she's got split personalities. Something's going on here.
you know,
I mean, not really, but maybe she's got multiple. Maybe she's like Sybil. Remember Sybil? Remember Sybil? You know how sometimes Leticia goes into her that thing she does, or I'm gonna burn this fucking place down. I'm gonna kill this baby. Who? And then there's, oh, I'm such a good Catholic girl, and then it's like, yeah, fuck me. Oh yeah, let me do me. It's like, whoa, dude, she's crazy.
no, I didn't do any of that. Weed is not the issue. People used to tell me, stop getting high. It would help you. And I'm like, no, that's the opposite of I don't know what you're talking about, buddy, because I want to slip my wrists when I'm fucking sober, dealing with your trash ass individuals, hopped up on your fucking caffeine and hopped up on all your excess sugar and salt and all these animal
Nicotine,
products and everything that are
nicotine. Oh, hopped up on our nicotine. Yeah, we're so crazy, Leticia. People that drink coffee are so crazy. But wait, well, wouldn't you say that they would be wanting to, if they didn't have their coffee, just like you are with your weed? So again, there's no difference. You're addicted to weed. They're addicted to coffee. So what? You're no better. You're no better. You think you're better than everybody else. It's just amazing. It blows my mind how she thinks she's better than everybody else. And she's talking about animal products, eating. She killed puppies. She killed puppies. And she was eating fast food. She on camera, just shoving it in her fucking gullet. Give me a God.
contaminating your bloodstream and your brain, and you're going to tell me that you're sane? You're going to tell me that you're rational? And I'm thinking, no. Like, I'm pretty sure after I cleansed for 2 years, I can tell even my own microbiome, the bacteria in my stomach, it doesn't uh if it affects people differently. So when people think, "Oh yeah, I got my nutrients today. I went to McDonald's.
Nobody
I
says
went to
that.
Popeyes. Look at me. I've got a badge. I've got a gun. Look at."
Oh, shut up. Nobody says, I got my nutrients today. I went to McDonald's. Shut up. And some of the shit you eat doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy either. Just look at the ingredients. Who Nobody says uh I got my health, my nutrients from McDonald's or Burger King. Why were you eating it the other day? And you didn't seem to have a problem shoving it in your fucking fat face.
me. I just had a bunch of donuts, and
You fed
you
that to
think your
your
mind
baby.
is running at the proper capacity, understanding that you don't have those nutrients from fresh fruits and vegetables.
When do you
Like,
eat?
you're stupid. You're
Leticia, I haven't seen you eat any vegetables for how long? How long has it been? I don't want to go back and look at all her videos, but when's the last time you ate some fresh fruits and vegetables? When? What did you eat? Panda Express? I would never eat that. Ew. Gross. The things I hear about, no, thank you. Uh, and the stuff that's in those sauces, no. But you eat so healthy, right? When's the last time you ate something healthy?
stupid to think that all the processed food that you're eating, and I see them at the gas station constantly, let me get my big soda, let me get my big, it doesn't matter how fit you are physically. Those toxins are floating around in your body and you can't work them off. You're not working yourself sane. Instead, you're working yourself into a controlled state of mind, just like every one of the other sheep. That's why people, when they see me and they're like, well, I don't want to arrest that bitch. Like, she didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's a smart thing to understand. That's a
Oh,
rational
please.
way to
Oh, I
perceive that.
know, because you're so big and bad. Nobody's ever said, I don't want to arrest that bitch. It seems like you're pretty afraid of being arrested. So, well, what are you talking about?
Because if you're going to sit there and say, well, no, she's got a warrant for her arrest, let's grab her up right now and be violent with her. We don't know anything about her, blah, blah, blah. That's that sheep mentality. So even there's plenty of sheep in the military. There's plenty of sheep in the.
We don't know anything about her, but they can just click on the computer and find out everything about you. I thought they know everything about you, Leticia. I thought they're watching you. I thought they all know everything about you, everything you say, every facial expression you make, everything about you, because you're so important. They're watching your every move.
Armed forces and the authorities, the judiciary systems, the judicials. Well, I
She
want to say
doesn't take a
judicials, but it's
breath.
judiciary.
She doesn't take a
But
breath.
anyway, but yeah, I feel like
She likes to hear herself
there's so
talk.
many things out there that I could have been capable of helping with and expanding people's minds with because I have lived through so much already.
You're
And
poison.
then
You are poison. Your message is lay on your fat ass, expect everybody to do everything for you, take from the government, get pregnant so you can get more from the government, and let guys have their way with you and then accuse them of rape. What else? No, there's no good message from you. None. Not anything about picking your life up, healing past your traumas from your past life. Um, no, it's all negative bullshit day in and day out. There's no positivity. There's no trying to get people to understand that they and they are alone are the only ones who can make a difference in their lives, that they have to make the moves, they have to put the effort in. There's nothing about that. And there's nothing about breaking the cycle of abuse either. She's said that she hasn't. She's very abusive.
this circumstance arose and I ended up getting all these followers, 5,000 followers. Do I believe that they exist? Not necessarily. I have to see each person individually to understand that. And it's not my fault because it's a form of whatever autism I have that I have to see things tangibly a majority of the
Oh,
time.
now you have autism. Oh, you have autism. Okay. Because I swear I heard in another video you say not, something that you had, and you said not autism, bitch, or something like that. I think I saw that on a clip of somebody's. So they proved that she said she didn't have autism. And now she has autism. She has everything under the sun that you can have. She's got it. And she's just functioning so wonderfully. Do you know how hard it is? Because my daughter's going through this. Do you know how hard it is to be diagnosed with autism as an adult, to be tested? She has to wait a year to even go get tested from somebody, from a specialist. So, when did you find out you had autism, Leticia? Or is it a self diagnosis like you do everything else?
So the fact that this is continually going on and I don't know, I haven't called, I don't care. I do not care. Why do I care? I don't. You've already destroyed me. You've hurt my heart. You've hurt my soul. You've hurt everything of my future,
You're in
my
my
hopes and dreams.
heart, you're in my soul. Who knows that song? Be my precious, I grow old. You are my lover, you're my best friend. You're in my soul.
To where I had thought the next time I got pregnant that it was going to be all, you know, peachy keen and
Oh,
that I was going to end up having the cherry on top of the
oh,
cake,
okay.
that I would end up having a new family,
Uh
that I
huh.
would have an actual family at that point,
Okay.
not just a new family in that way. I wanted some semblance of companionship,
Oh,
partnership
partnership.
that was going to withstand the rest of my days, you know, and
And you thought it would be with a man who didn't know you, who was just going to step up and say, "Come on, baby. This is a blessing. I'm so excited. I wasn't planning for this in my life, but who cares? I don't know you. I know you've acted erratic and crazy, and I was about to tell you to fuck off and never call me again, but now I find out you're pregnant, and that's it. Can I have your hand in marriage?" Was that what you expected?
there's so many people, well, why would anybody? Yeah, I know, the father of the baby told me they want a relationship, just not with me. And I know how toxic he is, but that's just a majority of that level of thinking, which is like that ignorant, very incompetent mindset, the one where you're really tainted and you don't know what you're talking about.
I think that sounds like he knows exactly what he's talking about. You probably said to him, "I'm having all these problems with guys. Nobody wants to actually be with me and be in a relationship with me. And that's all I really want. I just want that one person. And, but they always leave. They just use me." And then he probably said something like, "Well, maybe they want a relationship, maybe just not with you. What's wrong with saying that?" Uh, that sounds like he pretty much does know what he's talking about. So you see how she always has to put everybody down? Everybody.
And a lot of people think, well, no, I know exactly. No, you don't. You just had a fucking burger and shit. You just got all those greasy, disgusting animal products in your body with all these antibiotics and these hormones, and you don't realize how that's affecting your brain and it's frying it out. And that's why you're getting tired all the time. That's why you get cranky all the time. I eat a vegan diet. Majority of the time, I'm good. Like, I have very, very happy, you know, and the research shows that vegetarians are happier than most people. Well, imagine what that means for vegans because, you know, we alter our mindset in that way. And you're going to keep me from that. You're going to tell me I'm a criminal because I chose to better my life in a holistic manner as opposed to taking your nasty pharmaceuticals that caused me to gain all that weight.
So what we're watching, um, um, the what we've been watching for the last year, whatever, that's what we have to want to strive for. Because you eat a vegan diet, this is the outcome. This right here, what we've been listening to for a year now. Hmm. Okay, so she said that according to studies, whatever. Well, she didn't say according to studies, but she said, you know, vegans are happier than people who eat meat. So it says, according to data collected, meat eaters scored the lowest average happiness rating. The average happiness rating of all is 11,537 respondents was 6.90. The happiness rating for vegans was 7.27. Vegetarians 7.31. Pescatarians 6.99. And meat eaters 6.80. So, what is she? A vegetarian? Mm. She eats a vegan diet, but then she said, imagine the vegetarian. So 7.31. So, I mean, they're a little bit. Um, I mean, it which depends on which thing you're looking at, but I'm trying to back out of this. So I want to ask something. Hold on really quick. Um, so, so I wonder if Leticia gets all of the nutrients she needs from what she eats. She may be a vegan, she may have a vegan diet, but does she eat tofu? Um, does she enough get enough? Does she get enough complete proteins? Um, a complete protein contains all the amino acids your body needs to help maintain your metabolism. Um, does she eat enough legumes, peanut butter, seeds, grains, nuts? Does she eat enough of that stuff? So, sure, she can be vegan, but does she eat the most important things to make sure she's healthy? We don't know that. So,
Caused me to have these mood, you know, fluctuations and these outbursts, these violent outbursts and these verbal,
yeah, what does that?
these verbal sort of attacks, costing other people and everything.
But you're so
I'm very
level-headed.
tired.
You're so level-headed though. You have such a wonderful diet. You're able to compose yourself, right? You're able to not be off the rails like people who eat meat and coffee.
I just had to pee in a bucket right now because, well, about an hour ago, because
Because
that's when I
that's
woke
totally
up.
normal.
And
Because that's a totally normal thing to do.
I couldn't go back to sleep. I just think to myself, what a wonderful world, right? Um, what a wonderful world to where everybody is out to get an individual that is suffering. Everyone
Oh, so you can go around and abuse and accuse everybody you want, but you just can't have anybody say anything to you back. People can't tell you how they feel back at you. They can't share an opinion with you. But you're allowed to go and accuse and threaten and say you're going to let yourself how many times a day. You're going to do that to the baby. You threatened other people. You're going to burn down hotels. I mean, that's okay. And it must all be your vegan diet, right? You're so normal.
is out to harm someone because they're jealous, because they understand more about the universe and the world around them than they do themselves. And that's exactly why they want me dead. That's
Somebody else, another girl on YouTube, always says the same thing. They all want me dead. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. They say this for attention. They're sick. They're sick. And you don't know more about the universe than most people. You're in your crazy little head. You think you got it all figured out, but you're so wrong on so many things.
why they would rather see me suffer and die than to help me build me up, or giving me the sustainable,
Build me up,
support
buttercup.
or confidence to go about my
Nobody
days
can
on
give
my
that
own.
to you. Nobody can give that to you. People have tried, and you fight it. And you insist on being a perpetual victim. It's just no matter what anybody says to you, it doesn't matter. It's a waste of breath because you love the negative. You only want to pay attention to the negative and you hate yourself. So, no matter what anybody else says to you, until you find love for yourself, Leticia, no matter what anybody says, no matter how much they try to build you up, no matter how much they give you, no matter how much this, that, the other thing, you're never going to be happy because you think you're ugly. You are a hateful person. You hate yourself. So, but I'm sure you know that because you're hyper intelligent, right?
That's fine. It's none of my business. If you believe that it would be best off with someone else, the baby, then you're fucked. You are honestly retarded.
I guess I'm retarded, you guys. I'm retarded. I'm fucked because I definitely believe that baby would be better with somebody else.
Because the best thing would have been to have built an attachment between the mother and child so that the child had
Typically,
some
yes.
semblance of
Typically, yes. If the baby was going to be safe, yes. But even your own mother said she was concerned about you harming the baby after it got there and that you wouldn't want it because the daddy wasn't there. So she would be stuck having to raise your child. She didn't want that. So that's why she wasn't supportive. She was supportive in the beginning. I remember watching videos where she was telling you to keep the baby. And all you were doing was, acting a shit show all over YouTube. I'm not keeping this bastard. Fuck this kid. No, you're sick.
uh,
You're sick.
you know,
Okay, I can't watch anymore. It goes for an hour, you
just that
guys.
nurturing
You
and
don't know
and the
how to
fact that he's going to
nurture.
go off and he's going to have his own life and I'm going to wish him well. People think that I'm just, I'm going to change my mindset. Everybody always
You
thinks that.
have.
No, when you see him, you're going to no, I have nothing for him.
You
It's
already
okay.
have.
I'll give him away. It's none of my business.
You act like you have a choice in the matter now. That's what's funny. She's trying to take the control now. Like she thinks she has a choice in this. Oh, it's my choice. I'm giving one. No, you know that all of that you've done, that baby's not going home with you, to your car with you.
The father never came back. The father and I were never married,
That's
and
right.
there is no obligation to me. There's no obligation to the father. There's just nothing because they're not forcing the father into complying. They're not forcing the father into
You don't even know who the father is yet.
understanding what he had done, created another life. Um,
You're the one that spread your legs for him. So you're the one that told him to ejaculate inside you. Remember, Leticia, nobody has forgotten. You have said you got pregnant the second time you guys had sex, right? Right. I mean, you said it. We know it. The second time you guys had sex was when you approached him for sex that time. You didn't use protection, even though you knew you were ovulating, right? Mm-hmm. And he asked, "Where do you want me to ejaculate?" And you said, "Inside me. I like it like that. I haven't had it for a long time." You're gross. You knew you could get pregnant at that time. So how can you blame him for any of this? I mean, you told him that you needed to get a plan B. I'm sure he figured you would go ahead and get the plan B since you're the one that would get pregnant and the baby would grow in your body. And if you didn't want a child, you would be responsible, a 34-year-old at the time, and do that, 33, however old you were, 34, that you would go ahead and take care of it. So you can't blame anybody but yourself. You wanted sex with him that second time. I think you did the first time too, but say you didn't. You did the second time, right? You trapped him, period.
I
What's up
know
at
how to
30
keep it in
minutes?
my pants. That's why I spent 6 fucking years alone in that way of not seeking out any dick to accidentally get impregnated. But I was very sad. I didn't have that money, that extra money, because I wasn't doing much for cuddle sessions.
You liar. You had money. You had a few $100s for being naked in front of your cuddle session guy prior to going to meet him, JW. So you're lying through your fucked up teeth. Wow. You had the 40, $50 to go get it.
I wasn't doing anything for, extra income. I had already had $4,316 removed from me that last
Yeah,
year,
why was
this
that?
past year, 2021,
We know
because of the
why.
fact that my ex husband was vindictive and told the Social Security
That
Administration
you were scamming them. right? That you were claiming your daughter, trying to get benefits for her, for yourself. She's unbelievable.
That I had lied to them, that I wasn't giving them enough support. So, of course, that fucked me over and I lost all my money. And prior to that, they were the reason as to why I don't have a home, because I
Oh
reached
my gosh,
out.
it's everybody else's fault. I know I could have went and got a job and saved my home, but you know, I don't think I should have to work. So, if you don't think you should have to work, bitch, why do you think you should have anything? It was somebody else's responsibility to pay for your home.
To try to communicate about my daughter, and they saw that as a clear sign that I was stalking and harassing my ex-husband. And I'm thinking, do you not see it from my perspective?
No,
He promised me we were going to be together. We were
that ended. People break up all the time, especially somebody's going to leave and take their child if they think they are in danger.
still sleeping with one another, and that can be proven for 2 months after the divorce. There's no reason for him to have manipulated me in such a manner that caused me so much psychological
Jeez.
turmoil.
Oh,
So
you're always.
he ended up telling me that and left me with two loaded guns. So, what are you trying to tell me? I'm trying to share my story, and you keep reprimanding me because you didn't do your jobs properly years ago and arrest those people that physically assaulted me over there on Saby Street, his family.
Yeah, you don't do anything.
So, and I try not to disclose too much because all this stuff is true.
Are
This is
you kidding? You disclose every fucking thing about your life. Are you kidding? And you add to it and leave stuff out. You make stuff up. Um, your husband did nothing wrong by leaving his guns there. If he was trying to get out of there, then he forgot his guns. Oh well, you're a grown up. You know what guns can do. So don't try to act. I'm disabled. Disabled doesn't mean you can't think, right? No, you can think. And how come you did you have a problem when the guns were in the home before he left them there? Why didn't you accuse him of committing a crime then?
is how it's gone down. This is how I'm trying very hard to rationalize why everyone is crazy. But then I think, oh, it's Arkansas. It doesn't even matter who the
What are we at?
judiciaries are. It doesn't matter how
Oh,
smart these individuals think they are, or how
what
much
are we at?
schooling they had, or how many
25.
certifications they think they have.
Oh,
They think they know more about psychology than I do. And I'm like, wait a minute,
nobody does.
I've been having therapy on and off for the last 20 years.
That doesn't make you a psychologist. It doesn't make you fit to be a psychologist, you psycho. I've been to therapy for many years too. I would never say, "Oh, so this person thinks that they're better fit to be this, even though that's their profession than me." No, shut up. You think you're better at everything than everybody. So what? You went to therapy for 20 years. There's a lot of time in between there you haven't gone as well. And obviously, 20 years, I would be asking for a refund. If anybody owes you money, it's them because nothing's, they haven't helped you. So,
Years of my life.
oh,
I could have surely been a psychologist at this point had I had the finances to go to school.
anybody could have had they had the finances to go to school and study for it. So, what are you saying? That doesn't even make sense. Girl, are you okay? Like, I could have been a psychologist had I had the finances and gone to school to study for it. Really? So could have 99% of the world.
And to figure everything out. Because I know a lot about the human body, I know a lot about biology and the physiological effects of our emotions and our mood fluctuations. Why do you think I handled things so well? Yet,
When? When did you handle things so well, Leticia? When? We haven't seen it.
no one could understand me because of my vocabulary. No one could understand me because I was much more intelligent, and they thought I was trying to manipulate things, and in actuality, I am one of the most genuinely sweet people out there.
When you're getting what you want, sure, you probably can act sweet. Yeah, I'm sure you can act sweet. That's not what life's all about. That doesn't make you one of the sweetest people out there. Anyone can be nice when they're getting their way or what they want.
Because I know what it's like to get fucked with. And why would I want to do that to anybody else? Why would I want to hurt anybody else? Why would I want to destroy someone else in order to better myself or my circumstances? I don't want to walk on anybody's spine.
Oh, okay. So you're not trying to destroy JW by accusing him of doing that to you to better your life, to get him charged for not wanting to be involved in your life. You don't harm your mom, right? Because she's sick of your shit and she's putting her foot down. So you're you're verbally abusive, emotionally and verbally. And I don't know, as a child, even my therapist said sometimes emotional and verbal abuse is worse than physical abuse, because with physical abuse, the scar, the bruises go away, the marks go away. But when you're verbally and emotionally abused, it doesn't go away. So shows how much you know. I'm not saying physical abuse is okay. I'm saying it's a lot harder to heal from the emotional and psychological shit.
Like they've done to me. I don't want to trample on anybody and rain on their parade.
Mm-hmm.
So there have been times where I've said things and
Really?
I always get in
Oh,
trouble for my mouth.
yeah, because you have a big fucking mouth and you need to shut it. Um, no, you don't try to raid on people's parade. Remember that friend, that baby shower you went to? You're supposed to be all happy for her. She had a baby shower, and you were there getting pictures and all this stuff. What did Leticia do? Made it all about her and went and sat down and went live on video on YouTube and started making it all about you, how sad you were because you wanted a baby. Give me a. You're gross. You're really gross.
No, that's freedom of speech, bitch.
No.
Like the fact that you can't understand words, that's on you. And you're going to get physically violent? Okay. That's obviously more mental illness than I'm capable of dealing with. Maybe you need to be constrained at some point. Maybe you need to have some constraints and be tied down for a while so you can understand that you're
Did you do that to your daughter? Why would you even say something like that? Maybe you need to be constrained. Maybe you need to be tied down for a while. I'm thinking maybe she did that to her child if she didn't do what she was told. I mean, shit, she locked her nephew in a room and gave him a bucket to piss in. You're abusive. You're sick. You have no business having a child.
rage and your alcoholism and your need for caffeine and sugar and everything, that's altering your vibration, altering your mindset.
Your need for getting dick and getting weed and popping a bunch of ibuprofen to make it look like you were offing yourself for that attention. You're sick.
Altering your capability of functioning properly.
Yeah, all those things I just named are doing the same thing to you, altering your perception of being able to function properly. Because we all see you don't function properly.
Psychologically,
Something's
cognitively.
loose up there
So,
cognitively. She tries to
but no,
sound so smart. Why don't you just use words that normal everyday people use instead of trying to make it sound? That's all you have. Like, she tries to sound so smart, and it really just is bored. I mean, it's like she tries to think of the most elaborate words she can use for everything she says, when most people just don't talk that way. And it doesn't mean you're smart, it means you're calculating. You're trying to sound intelligent. Maybe you are intelligent, but just because you know words doesn't make you intelligent. we can look at how you live your life and realize that you're not intelligent. Intelligent people don't behave the way you do.
Who am I to talk about it? Just someone that healed themselves,
Oh
lost
God, you
150
lost
pounds, was
weight.
doing just fine until
Good.
two men forced themselves upon her back in December.
You lost some weight. Good for you. It was for your own benefit. And nobody else benefited from that. Why do you talk like everybody benefited from you losing weight? You needed to lose weight. You were obese. Okay. So what? You lost weight. Good for you. Now what? Are you going to say it till your dying day? Remember that time I lost a bunch of weight and I got healthy so I could do nothing else with my life? But that's a big accomplishment.
And she ended up with a baby inside of her. And then all of a sudden, I'm the one that has to deal with it. I'm the one that has to
You
make
didn't
all the
have
decisions
to.
for it.
You didn't have
I'm
to.
the one that's held responsible if this thing lives or dies. I'm the one that's held responsible. That is not right. That is not fair. That is not viable under the oath that you swore by under God. And then I saw some military training and everything, and I realized they do swear an oath under God. Oh, okay. Well, if that means that I was stemming from a Catholic version of God, well, then you're fucking with the same God and you violated that God. And that also means that you raped me underneath that oath. You're getting paid by the fucking US government to go around and fornicate forcibly with women. Well, that seems like sex trafficking to me. That's
Oh my God. This, to live in that fucking brain, man. Oh my gosh. I'm done. I mean, I was going to go to 30 minutes. I'm at 28:40. I'm done for now. I'll do the second part later. She's just crazy. Cuckoo, cuckoo. She's a nutcase. That's it. That's all I got to say. So, you guys, thank you for watching. That was fun. Um, I every time I listen to her, it's like I realize. I mean, I don't feel sorry for her. All you people out there that sit here and, oh, poor Leticia, you're so beautiful, you're doing so good. No, why don't you go put that energy onto somebody who's trying to help themselves and that isn't so mean and vile and hateful towards everybody? Nothing you do is going to help her. Nothing. She said she's been going to therapy for 20 years and this is the outcome. Oh, gross. I gotta go. Have a good night. Hey, you guys. Yeah, make sure you leave your comments. I always enjoy reading your comments, and I do try to answer them as quickly as possible. Sometimes I'm working, sometimes I'm busy, and I can't get to them right away, but I do make a huge effort to make sure I answer all of them. Um, Also, I have a membership if you want to join the membership. It's in the description in the videos. There's also a little thanks. It's a heart. I don't know if people realize this, but you can give a tip there, even when the person isn't live. It's pretty cool. Some people liked the video and they would like to give a tip, um, but they can't because Super Chat's not up or whatever. So feel free. I don't know if my Cash App is up in the. I don't think I put it in my description. I don't think I have it there, but in my About Me section. But I do have. Everybody has that little heart, that thanks tip thing if they're monetized. So I'm just letting you know that's there too. So thank you guys for subscribing and commenting, and I will see you in the next one.